On this railway adventure, Dr. Sin and the Wine and Dine train. Join me through southeast England on the Kent and East Sussex Railway, the Lavender Line, and others. Hi, I'm Bernie Coppell. Just up the tracks, the world's only miniature main line, and the Flying Scotsman, all on Railway Adventures Across Europe. During this railway adventure, we'll visit 5 centers of railway preservation, each one with unique trackside attractions and locomotive power. The routes we'll travel start at Northiam, Hythe, Ifield, Kemsley Down, and Sheffield Park. These difficult-to-pronounce towns hold many enjoyable experiences. We'll see Dr. Sin make a dramatic turnaround on a manually operated turntable, ride the world's only miniature main line, and see what railways can do to ensure the comfort of physically challenged passengers. We'll also ride the Wine and Dine train and visit a railway station that has appeared on television and in motion pictures. All this and more on the Romney, Hythe, and Dymchurch Railway, the Lavender Line, the Bluebell Line, and others. All aboard for 5 fine lines.
Our railway adventure takes us to the southern England counties of Kent and East Sussex. We'll visit 5 centres of railway restoration: New Romney, Tenterden, Ifield, Sittingbourne, and Sheffield Park. Our travels around the area begin in Northiam, about 45 miles southeast of London, at the Kent and East Sussex Railway. Originally known as the Rother Valley Railway, the line was constructed under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Holman F. Stevens and opened on March 26, 1900. This 7-mile-long standard gauge line extends from Northiam to its headquarters in Tenterden. The station at Northiam was officially reopened by the Duke of Gloucester in 1980, and the railway plans to extend the current line beyond Northiam to the next station at Bodiam, 3.5 miles away. This is a single-line railway with passing loops at each station. The rail line even has a specially adapted coach designed for physically challenged passengers with walking difficulties and wheelchairs. As number 24 heads for Tenterden, we sit back and admire the beauty and nostalgia of these fully operating antiques. The train heads out across gently rolling countryside and on to the Rother Valley. The Wintersham Road station, located about 3 miles from the village it serves, is typical of a country line station. From here we travel up the line through Rolvenden to Tenterden. Locomotive number 24 was built in 1952 and is known as an austerity saddle tank. These locomotives were so successful, their production continued until 1964. By that time, 464 locomotives had been constructed. 5 examples are preserved by this railway: 4 of which are still in working order. Tenterden is the headquarters for the Kent and East Sussex Railway. The modern facilities were built on the site of a former goods yard. The station building and restaurant were originally built in 1921 as a bus station. Railways were first built in this area in the 1830s and early 1840s. Railway competition was fierce at that time, and by the turn of the century, many routes were even duplicated. Most parts of Kent and Sussex were accessible by rail. Not far from Tenterden is a 13.5-mile line running from Hythe to Dungeness. This southern England route is called the Romney, Hythe and Dymchurch Railway and is the world's only miniature main line. The railway employs 11 steam and 2 diesel locomotives running on 15-inch gauge line. All begin their day's work here at the main depot in Romney. These elegant miniature locomotives were designed by the model engineer Henry Greenley. They were constructed in 1925 to 1/3 standard gauge size. The design was based on a type of locomotive called the Flying Scotsman, a type then in service on the London and Northeastern railways. Weighing 8 tons in working order, these powerful locomotives are capable of hauling 17 coach trains seating up to 350 passengers. All the locomotives are phased to run chimney first, which is both practical and fun to watch. Each locomotive burns on average about 500 to 700 pounds of coal per day. The railway runs every day from Easter until the end of September. At the new Romney station, there's a well-stocked shop, restaurant, and toy and model museum. Here's a brief look at several of the steam locomotives in action at different points along the line. The first locomotive to depart from New Romney bound for Hythe is number 3, Southern Made. Number 3 is a Pacific-type locomotive built in 1927. Across the flat, straight sections of line that characterize the run from New Romney to Hythe, the locomotives run safely at speeds of up to 25 miles an hour. Hythe Station, the only terminal on the line, has 3 platforms. Another locomotive called Dr. Sin runs around its train and uses the second turntable to prepare for the second half of its round-trip journey. Unlike the electrically operated turntable at New Romney, this one is still manually operated. Now that Dr. Sin is facing in the right direction, it departs Hythe, bound for Dungeness with its passengers. The line from Hythe to New Romney is double track all the way, allowing north and southbound trains to pass at any point. The station at Dymchurch is nearly halfway to Dungeness. It provides a pleasant background for trains passing through. Here we see number 7 Typhoon arriving at New Romney. The locomotive Dr. Sin, returning from Hythe, approaches New Romney Station. Before a train can depart New Romney to continue to Dungeness, the driver has to collect the tablet from the post next to the train. It's an authorization to proceed into the single-line section to Romney Sands. Departing New Romney, the line tunnels beneath Littlestone Road. At Dungeness, the line crosses banks of pebbles. It's a sharp contrast to the rolling grasslands of North New Romney. Then the line turns the trains 180 degrees, ready for the return trip. In southeast England, Ifield was once a station on the main line from Tunbridge Wells to Lewes. When this section of the line between Uckfield and Lewes was closed, the station fell into disrepair, but now the Lavender Line, a 1.5-mile-long section of railway, has become very popular because of its unique wine and dine service. The station and buildings were bought at auction by owner David Millam. He planned to use them as a storage yard with no intention of running a railroad. But after clearing away years of decay, he decided to lay some track and purchase an engine. The first engine, Annie, arrived 40 years to the day since the last train has run on the line. All the careful restoration work was done by employees and volunteers. David Millam created the wine and dine service so that people could experience the glory of first-class rail travel from bygone days. Here, the staff pays strict attention to every detail. The route is a success. As well as the popular wine and dine service, the railway operates family trains every Sunday and bank holiday from March to November, giving coach rides up and down the line. Northeast of Ifield is the Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway. It was once part of a sophisticated 2-foot 6-inch gauge industrial network. It operated 24 hours a day, supplying raw materials and shipping finished products from the Sittingbourne paper mill. Only 2 miles of the original system remain. This small section is preserved and operated by the Sittingbourne and Kemsley Light Railway Limited and is run by dedicated volunteers. Triumph, a saddle tank engine built by Begnall in 1934, was used to haul loads of wood pulp and finished paper. Today, its task is more elegant. Triumph pulls passenger coaches along the 2-mile track between Sittingbourne and Kemsley Down. The line is set in typical industrial surroundings across open pastures along Milton Creek. So that the line can cross the creek, it's elevated by a concrete bridge that twists and turns through the industrial area. The bridge ends at the entrance of the Sittingbourne station, where the train signals its arrival as it pulls in. Our final destination on this railway adventure to restored railways is at Sheffield Park. The station is southwest of Sittingbourne, near Ifield, England. Locomotive running sheds and workshops are located at the Sheffield Park station. This is the railway headquarters and home of the Bluebell Line. There's also a shopping area, buffet, and restaurant. The line is run entirely by enthusiasts and volunteers. The Sheffield Park signal box is situated at platform level and offers visitors a rare view of signal box operations. Over the years, the railway has acquired quite a collection of rolling stock. In service today is Q-Class number 541. It was designed by R.E.L. Mansell and was built in 1939 at Eastleigh Works by Southern Railways. Seen here departing for Horseted, Keynes, number 541 was scrapped by British Rail in 1964. She spent the next 10 years in a scrapyard in South Wales before being rescued by a group of railway enthusiasts. On October 5, 1978, number 541 arrived at the Bluebell Railway. Horseted Keynes was once the junction for the branch line to Haywards Heath. Today, it's the temporary terminal for the Bluebell Railway. The beautifully restored station at Horseted Keynes is a credit to the societies who worked hard to preserve it. It's often a backdrop for feature films and TV movies. And it marks the end of the line for this railway adventure, our look at Britain's restored rail lines.
Our railway adventure has taken us on 5 restored railways through southeast England. we've seen sights that might otherwise be missed by any other mode of travel. We hope you've enjoyed 5 Fine Lines. I'm Bernie Coppell. Join me on the next Railway Adventures Across Europe.
Rail Europe is your one-stop shop for European rail products.